guys. So, how are we? How you guys going? Interesting day today. But all good. So this is all about med beds. Okay. That gets annoying. Yeah, all about med beds. Okay. So, all good. All good. Alright. So I'll just wait for a few more people to come on and then we shall begin. Alright. So how you guys going? Everybody good? Yeah. I have to be up and early each day when I do classes, private sessions, live streams, because the later I leave it, the more this zoo wakes up. And then I can't do anything. Just screaming kids, cursing parents, fights. You know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, several of them we've even had the police come to do questioning, and we had fights and all kinds of stuff. So between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. is the time to do everything. Otherwise it's a zoo. Hope your day is fantastic. Oh, thank you. Hope your day is good too. Alright. Can med beds remove tattoos? Yes. Absolutely they can. Great to finally have a new Q&A about med beds. Yeah. I connected with the Galactics this morning, about half an hour ago actually, and I said, so, any updates? Is there anything that I haven't been told that others have been told? Is there anything that, you know, I can share? And they're like, nope. Everything's said, everything's done. We're just waiting for the notifications for the redemption appointments to begin, because the med beds are released with the redemption appointment notifications. So, and when they say released with the redemption appointment notifications, they're talking about 2 humanitarians to start their projects, and then the public will come a very short time later. Okay? So, we wait for those notifications to come for the redemption appointments. And then med beds will be available for humanitarians, and then very, very shortly after, like possibly only a week after, will be available for the public. So, finally getting rain in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's raining here too. We had a massive, massive downpour for the last several hours here this morning. It's beautiful. I love the smell of fresh rain and wet grass. It's good. Okay. Is medbeds would be only exclusive from military sites that are already settled? To start with, yes. Yes. The military will be fully in charge to start with. Okay? You're not going to have groups or humanitarians having them immediately, because they haven't even been funded yet. So they haven't had time to purchase property and buildings and train staff and set it up. So military will be the only ones that will be offering the medbeds to begin with, just to begin with. Okay, now you'll have civilians working in those centres, but the military will be in charge of them. Okay, there's not going to have civilians in charge of them, not yet. Okay, not yet. All right. Lovely background with the sun. No, that's the light. That's the light in the room. It does kind of look cool. It's nearly 7:10, and normally it's, you know, daylight. But it's very rainy, very overcast. I love it. It's beautiful. So it makes the lighting look really cool. But no, it's not the sun. It'd be nice if it was. Can you give us your gut feeling on when you think the RV would happen, and then the med beds would come out after that? Yvonne, I have been wrong, like everybody else, every single time. My gut is up and down, left, right, twisted, in a hole, in heaven, absolutely every which way possible. Just like everybody else. So, no, I don't have a gut feeling because I don't trust it anymore in regards to this, because it's been wrong every single time. So there you have it. So many of us love you and would really like to see the results of your outcome once you do the med bed. Would you consider that? I did agree to do my med bed procedure live, which the Alliance would be in control of, military, all of that. And then later find out that that was a trap, that I was used as bait to trap anybody, to see if anyone was actually going to follow me. I believe a couple did. That's what I've been told. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I believe a couple did, and they caught them. They change it all the time. Sometimes, I ask one day and they'll say, no, nobody did. I'll ask the next day, oh, yes, a couple did. I think it just depends on who I talk to, who's giving me the intel. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if anybody did or not. That'd be pretty... I wouldn't have been surprised if they did. But doing my live stream public, pardon me, my procedure public, is only one way that they will disclose, that they may disclose the beds. Okay, I have been asked, and I am being leaned on very heavily to do my procedure on my own channel for myself. Okay, and that is one way, nothing to do with the Alliance or the military, just, do like a live stream on my channel like I am now, except I'd be doing my procedure. I have agreed to that, with a few conditions, which they broke one of the conditions yesterday. Already, literally 2 hours after we agreed to the conditions, they went and broke it. Not impressed at all. For the last couple of months, I've been having aches and pains on my arms and legs. Okay. Looks like a beautiful sunrise reflection in the window. Yeah, it's not. It's just the light. I forgot to turn it off. But it makes for really cool lighting. Doing great after our reading. Good. Medbed makes change to the body at the DNA level. Anna, it restores your DNA to perfection. It doesn't change your DNA, it restores it. Okay? It gets rid of all the toxins, the poisons, all the dis-ease, all the illness, all the garbage. Okay? It restores your DNA. Now, before anyone asks, no, med beds do not suck out your soul. Goodness me. Oh, the amount of misinformation. You do not need to be vegan to use a med bed. That's another one that's come up. Some of the stuff that people come up with, honestly, is just... it's beyond the writers of the most ridiculous zombie movie ever could think of. It's just hideous. The people that come up with this stuff are very uninformed, uneducated, and in fear, and a little bit too much in their imagination. I'm set for surgery and keep praying for the med beds. Yeah, do not put off your treatment that you need now and wait for the med beds. I've said it from day one and people keep blaming me. Oh, my friend died because they trusted you, they listened to you. I have never once said wait for the med beds, and I never will, because we don't know when they're going to be available. We thought all this was going to be done 2-3 years ago, and here we are still waiting. Do not put off treatment or taking care of yourself now because the med beds might be here. Okay, don't do that. All right, look after yourself now. Okay, it's so important. Look after yourself now. Okay. His medbeds would be an humanitarian project, as they are already supported and ready by the military. Yeah, the whole thing with the medbeds and the projects is humanitarians, we, the people, humans, humanity. It's our responsibility. The military has been trained on them so that they can train us so we can take over. Okay? So the military is not always going to be in charge. They're going to be handing it over to us when we're ready, no matter how long that takes. Okay? So yes, that is part of our projects, and they will be handing it over to us when we're ready. Okay? Do medbeds regenerate new feet or loss of teeth? Yes. A general healing will give you a new limb if you've lost one, a new organ. It will get rid of burns. It will heal everything. Everything. If you've got a severed spinal cord, guess what? That spinal cord will be perfect. If you have a massive chunk missing out of your brain, that part of your brain will be perfectly regenerated. The whole brain will probably be perfectly regenerated. If you've got plates, if you've got implants or anything in your body, guess what? They are removed and that part of the body completely healed to perfection. New set of teeth for everyone, perfect, unless you choose otherwise. Okay, absolutely perfect. All right, medbeds heal, dramatically improve, or cure every single thing that is physical. You don't need to ask about specific things. Okay, if it is part of the human body, it's healed. Now the same thing goes for animals. Okay, everything that I say also relates to animals. It's exactly the same, which is why I don't separate the two much. All right, everything's the same. The only difference is with animals, there probably won't be any counseling. There may be behavioral therapy, there may be, to get over a mental trauma or something like that, but it's identical, literally identical. Okay, if ADHA, will the med bed rewire the brain? ADHD, rewire the brain. If it's physical, the brain will be rewired. But attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, I think it's called. Humans love to label things which they see as not fitting in with the normal, what they call normal. ADHD are usually signs of higher consciousness, which is why they struggle to fit in this society, which is why we love to label them as being ill or not normal, when in fact they're just higher consciousness. So nothing to rewire, we have to catch up to them. Okay, is sedation required for kids and animals? No, unless the kid or animal is freaking out, absolutely freaking out, then no. Okay, so the beds, basically, when you lay on the beds or animal in the chamber, the what's in the beds, the energy within the bed itself, when you're laying on it, it will be transferred to you and it has a calming effect. How much calming that has will depend on two things. One, how freaked out you are, and two, the length and in-depth of the procedure you're having. So if you're having a full age regression, if you're having a, you know, something that's going to take a couple of hours, then you will feel a lot more sleepy. Probably still awake, but really not giving a shit if a nuclear bomb went off inside the room. Okay? So, yeah, just depends on those two things. But the bed will do it. Okay? Have you met a galactic? Unfortunately, yes. And I say that because I'm pissed off with them today. So yes. Do you recommend we not drive ourselves home after a treatment? I'm guessing it'll be surreal with a new body. Be ashamed to have an accident if we're not grounded. It depends on what you have. So if you have full age regression from like a 90-year-old right down to a 30-year-old, that's going to feel pretty damn weird. I would get a taxi. If you're having a new set of teeth, drive home. Okay? It just depends. Like if you're paraplegic now, then driving home is really not going to be an option because your brain hasn't truly reconnected to your legs. So you'd be sent to a healing center by a transport, okay, to have a bit of rehab to learn to walk again, all right, and get the strength and all in your legs so you can walk. Okay, even though your body comes out perfectly, you still need that connection. Okay, you still need to learn to use those limbs again. All right, so it just depends on what procedure you have. I take care of a special needs child. Would I be able to get her into a med bed this year? Karen, that totally depends on when the med beds are available. Can't answer that. I'm sorry. I hope Cluster B is no more after medbed. Nothing's going to be after medbed. People, please understand, the medbeds will heal, cure, or dramatically improve everything physical. There's not going to be, your body is not going to have any addiction to drugs, any need for pharmaceuticals, any illness. You're not going to need to take vitamins. Nothing. Nothing. Your body's going to be perfect. This has to catch up. Your mind. Okay? There will be no cluster B after the medbed. You will be perfect. I plan to have a horse rescue. I'm wondering where to get info on large animal medbeds. Same places you get info on the medbeds. Okay? You have to have foreign currency to exchange, so you can get the humanitarian fund, so you can pay for everything needed that goes with the projects. And then you go to a 3 to 5 day conference to be approved to have the chambers and medbeds in your project. And then the military will help you set it up from there. But you must have that foreign currency. Zim is perfect, okay? In order to get to the 3 to 5 day conference, in order to get approved. All right? I have a different question. Maybe if you wanted to do something extra, like learn something, would that be after the scan of your body, before the basic healing, depending on if the right vibe? So you go and you have your scan, and it's like, from what I've been shown, I haven't seen it personally, I've just been telepathically shown it. It's like 2 panes of glass. You stand in front of it, or in a wheelchair, or you put the bed between the glass, whatever. And this little box, which is the scan, it takes an image of your body. It takes 30 to 45 seconds, depending on how injured or ill you are. For a healthy person, probably around 30 seconds. For a not very healthy person, probably about 45 seconds. So it's really, really simple, quick, easy. And then you go back to the waiting room, and then you're called into kind of what you would call a doctor's office. And the medbed team will sit down and discuss what they found. And they'll tell you your vibrational frequency, and if you want anything extra, as long as you're the right vibe, then that'll be added into the medbed procedure. And then when you come out, you've got it. Really, really simple. I've noticed a lot of people making the whole procedure and scan and everything out to be so complicated. It's not. It's simple. Really, really simple. Okay? Don't complicate things that don't need to be. All right? Autism cure, but will need therapy for speech. Yeah. So anything like autism, anything to do that impedes the brain like that, then yes, they will need a bit of therapy after. And the parents will probably need a bit of therapy to learn how to or reconnect with their child, because the child will be different or the person will be different. So there will need to be a bit of therapy and adjustment time. Okay. As far as I remember, the scan will be separate from the med beds, not in the med bed itself. Correct. So you have a scan and then you have a med bed. Now, someone who is emergency or on death's door or in a coma doesn't need a scan. They'll go straight in the med bed and a general healing will be performed. After that general healing, then the person can decide what they want to do or whatever. Okay, so two different things. A scan is just for the public, just to put you in your, where you need to be, in line, so to speak, and what you want done and all of that. It's like going for your pre-surgery examination. Okay, you go see the surgeon first, you talk about what they're going to do, and then they'll put you in a queue, in a line, and give you the date and time of your surgery. It's that simple. Okay. Yeah, separate appointments also. Now, I believe for humanitarians, they won't have a separate appointment. Okay, they will have the time and date of their procedure. So they'll go in, they'll be checked in, they'll have a scan, they'll go in and straight away and talk to the medbed team, then they'll go into the waiting area, then they'll be called in for their procedure, then everything will be done after, and then they go home. But for the public, literally you call to book your appointment, so they book your scan first, you go and have your scan, and then during the time they're talking about the scan with you, then they'll book the time and date of your medbed procedure. If you've got like a blood clot that's dangerous or something, then you'll go in pretty quick. Maybe even that day. I can't tell you how quickly you'll go in, because it totally depends on so many different factors, which is all individual to you. Okay. Are the med beds already installed around the world? Just waiting for the go signal? Yes. They're ready. The teams are ready. Everyone's ready. Everyone's ready. We're just waiting for those redemption appointment notifications, and then it is go time for all of it. Okay. Just one question. Can we bring 6 people to the med beds? No. No. Your procedure and your treatment is for you and you alone. So everyone needs their own appointment. You can't share appointments. You can't share an appointment with your pet or your child or your spouse. Pardon me. Every single individual needs their own appointment. Okay? Not bring people and, for I've seen a few humanitarians saying, well, as soon as I get notice for my medbed appointment, I'm going to take people with me so they can be treated. Sorry, they're going to be turned away, simply because they don't have an appointment. Remember, an appointment is going to be 30 to 45 minutes long, so they're going to set appointments at 45 minutes apart. And if you're taking all these extra people, that's going to put everyone else back a mile, and then it'll be weeks. It's just going to be chaos. Every single person and animal needs their own appointment. Don't take people with you expecting them to be treated or seen. They're not. Okay? You don't take someone who needs their appendix out to your gynecologist appointment expecting them to have their appendix out while you're having your gynecology appointment. Okay? So it just doesn't work that way. All right. If you do want your child and you to have an appointment at the same time, then book 2 appointments. Okay? But don't take someone with you expecting them to be seen and treated, because they just won't. All right? It's just not going to happen. Man, there's a lot of comments. So you can take someone with you, okay? But they're not going to be treated with you, okay? You can take someone to your appointment with you, but they're not going to be seen or treated. You're the patient, not them, okay? Okay, I just got rid of a couple of people on the comments. I got to find where we are. Oh dear. I wish people would just behave. And just behave. Oh dear. Hang on one second. Oh dear. Okay. Are the effects of healing instantly or gradual? Instant. Okay, when you come out of the med bed, when your procedure's finished, you are perfect. It doesn't take days, weeks, hours, minutes. Literally, before you get off the bed, you've already been healed. All the healing's taken place, except up here if that needs to. Okay, so it is instant. Okay, I have a couple of fluffy cats that seem to communicate with me. They dislike being poofy. When I get them trimmed, they're so much happier. Would it be possible the med beds could shorten their fur? That's something you will have to discuss, okay, with them. I haven't heard anything about that. But I know, because I have discussed this, because I've got horses, I know that when they go in the beds, in the chambers, that if it's winter, you can choose a longer coat or a summer coat. A short coat, you can choose the length of mane and tail, that kind of thing. But permanently, I doubt it. Okay, I doubt it, because even with humans, if you choose short hair, your hair will still grow. It's not going to stop at any particular length. Okay, so I don't think you could keep it the same length unless you keep putting them in the chamber or something. Question: the everyday use of a farm medbed, animal medbed, can it be used to check the milk and the animals every day, say on a dairy farm? It could be, but it wouldn't, because these are being released as projects for everyone, not for a specific farm. Okay, so they are for healing. Okay, they're not, you know, for everyday maintenance. Okay, so I highly doubt it. Not yet, anyway. Okay. The med beds would help animal to give birth too, with the special calming mattresses. Yeah, they would. Yeah, we need only one treatment. If you do the right thing and take care of yourself, and, you know, make good healthy choices and exercise and, you know, get your mind, body and everything else in order, you should only need a med bed once every 20 years. That's it. Once every 20 years. So the idea of what people are saying, oh, everyone's going to have a med bed in their home, and for what? To collect dust? You only need it once in 20 years. It's just going to be a really waste of space, considering the amount of space they need. And what else is it going to do? Nothing. It's just going to sit there for 20 years. Unless you've got a death wish and, you know, you parachute, you climb Mount Everest, all that kind of crazy shit, then yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of injuries. So you would need access to a med bed. But, you know, no. If there's anyone causing any trouble, just ignore them. Because I'll just go through, and when I get to that comment, I'm just going to block them anyway. So just ignore them. Alright, so there's no reason for you to have a med bed in your home other than to jump in your ego and say, oh, I have a med bed. You don't need it. Once in 20 years is more than enough. A tachyon or tachyonic particles bring back the optimal structure of your DNA. It also repairs the something, I'm not very good with big words, that control age and cellular repair. Okay? It's early, exactly. It's early. The whole earth needs healing, not just people and animals, but Mother Nature needs us to go deep into the forest and love her. That's right. Can my loved one wait for me in a waiting room while getting my procedure done? Of course. Of course. They can go into the cafe. There'll always be a cafe there. Okay? So they can go into a cafe and, yeah, enjoy. Or a lot of these places will have gardens. Probably not the military ones, but eventually the humanitarian ones will have gardens and all kinds of nice things. Probably have, I was planning, I'm still kind of planning. My projects change with my moods, and my moods change about 300,000 times every day. I need a lot of healing. This whole last 3.5 years has been absolute hell. I need to take a few months off and discover who I am, especially outside this kind of environment, away from all the hatred and negativity. So I'm sure that I will end up doing all the projects that I originally planned once I'm in a better headspace, so, and vibrational space. So one of the projects I'm planning is a 500-room education healing center, which focuses on education, and having 2 or 3 med beds for educational purposes, you know, teaching staff, literally, not just open to everyday public, but literally for students to learn, like a university kind of thing. That's going to have something like 10 acres of formal gardens, 10 to 15 acres formal gardens. It'll have, you know, a massive lake, like a 5-acre lake full of koi fish and all kinds of different things. So as your partner is being treated, there's going to be so much to do. We're going to have a cinema. We're going to have like a beauty therapist, hairdressing area. We're going to have 2 lots of pools, one for therapy, one for general swim use. We're going to have a massive gym. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Massive library on the top floor, which takes up a whole wing of the top floor. We're going and with computers, and we're going to have the whole works. So if you are with someone and they're having their treatment, there's going to be a lot, you know, a lot for you to do. The time will go so fast. Okay. What will happen when I bring my 30-year-old horse to the animal healing chamber and he is ready to leave his body? Will he still be healed, or will he then leave his body? If your horse gets to the healing chamber, then they're ready to be healed. Okay, they won't leave. If your horse is not wanting to be healed, then they will say goodbye before you get there. Okay? Remember, if the medbeds and healing chambers it actually happens for you, your pet, or whatever, it's because their soul chose it. Okay? It's because their soul chose for that to happen. Nobody experiences anything that they haven't already agreed to. So for those who haven't made it, it's because their soul chose not to. And I know that sounds really, really harsh and horrible, but it's true. So if your horse gets to the healing chamber, it's because he chose to, or she chose to. Okay? Can we trust any military base, including Air Force, or are some of the Air Force still part of the dark? There's no dark anymore. They've all been taken over by the good guys. Yes, you can trust them. Okay. They are part of the global military alliance, which means trust them. Okay, they're good. They're the good guys. They won't harm you. They're only here to help. Okay. My family depends on me mentally, physically, not ready for the medbed, won't listen to me, impacts my project. Just wait and see what happens after I go through the medbed to prove it. Any suggestions? Do your own thing. Stand in your own light, your own truth, your own power, and have courage. Are you Australian? I was born in Australia, but I'm a citizen of Earth. What do you mean from 90 to 30 was not 30 years per time max? No, that changed. That changed quite a while ago. So the amount of years you can age regress is totally dependent on your level of consciousness and your vibrational frequency. Okay? So the more conscious and higher frequency you are, the more years you can age regress. Okay? Do you know if we'll get our medbed appointment straight after our RV meeting? You will get the details on how to book your appointment either at the redemption appointment meeting or directly after. I have heard that when you ring up to book your redemption appointment, you may also be able to book your medbed appointment with the same phone call. I've heard that. I can't confirm. Okay, so they want all humanitarians and their dependents treated through the medbeds within 6 weeks of the redemption appointments. Okay. I'm a nurse and will train to operate medbeds. Are each of the beds different in their operation? Is it possible when I have my medbed treatment that I can ask for full knowledge of their operation? So there's 3 different types of medbeds. Okay. One, I haven't talked about this for so long. I can't remember. Can't even remember what I did yesterday. My memory's so bad. So one is for general healing. I believe the other one is for regrowing limbs and organs and special stuff. And the third one is age regression. Now, all 3 beds do everything. But they're putting people, going to book people in for a particular bed based on what they need, so as not to clog up, you know. So, you can ask anything. Whether or not it's granted, that depends on many different things. But no harm in asking. Are there any cons for your soul if you use med beds? Yeah, you get addicted to them. And you live a long time. Because a med bed, it restores your DNA to its original, and it removes all the toxins and poisons from your body. So you're not going to age as fast. Okay? So if 20 years passes, you've only aged 4 or 5 years after a med bed. Instead of, if 20 years have passed, you age 20 years. So you're going to live longer. So if you do choose to use a med bed, you're facing a long life unless you choose to opt out, in which case the med bed can help you stop your body so you can return to spirit if you've had enough. Okay, that is a choice, and that will be discussed with the medbed team. It'll be discussed with the healing center team. You know, it's not an easy decision to make, but there is no judgment. If you've had enough and you want to retire from life, then it's your choice, no judgment. Okay, so yeah. It also cures the mental state of your mind. No, Thomas, your mind is your choice. That's what the healing centers are for, is to help you with your mind. Doesn't cure the mind. Okay, you got to work through your dramas and your shit. That's why you've got them. Not so something else can magically wipe them away and make you perfect. Otherwise, what are you doing here? Okay, so you need to work on your mind. You're responsible for that. When are we going to meet our brothers and sisters from Intergalactic AI Federation? Intergalactic AI Federation? I hope never. I hope never. our galactic brothers and sisters, you'll meet them when you're ready. Until then, no, because their energy will bring up all kinds of shit that you have not dealt with. And that's why a lot of people have a mental breakdown and they end up in the padded cell because they haven't dealt with their shit. They haven't dealt with their traumas, their fears, their insecurities. They're not standing in their light. They're still worshipping. So their energy brings all that to the surface in one go, and that sends people insane. So they're not going to meet you until you are ready. Okay? After medbed, do they have any other technologies that will speed up learning how to walk again after quadriplegic? No, they don't. I don't believe they do, because your legs will be perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's just practice. It's just you getting up and practicing walking. Okay? And it should only be a week. Literally a week. Because your legs are perfect. It's just getting that brain to limb connection going again, and you learning how to use your muscles. So the more you practice, the faster it'll be. If you sit on your backside, then, you know, it's not going to happen for you. Oh, where are you? There you are. Come on. Okay, so will our first medbed appointments remove all toxins as well as restoring our DNA blueprint? I've just mentioned that. If I don't have Zim or any currency to redeem, when can I expect to have an RV medbed appointment set up? Well, if you don't have any currencies, you don't get an RV appointment, because the RV appointment is to exchange currency. That's it. No currency to exchange, no redemption appointment. Okay, so that makes you public. Okay, so you'll get your appointment when they're available publicly. All right. Do muscles get healed? Yes. How does one know if they're 3D, 4D, 5D, etc.? 3D is living in fear, not trusting yourself, not standing in your light. It's following everybody else. It's, you know, trusting the government, listening to everybody else except yourself. 4D is starting to question everything, starting to think, hang on a second, this is not right, starting to go more into your heart. It's, you know, the doors are starting to open and you're poking your head through. 5D is you are listening to yourself, you are standing in your light, and you are courageous and facing your fears. You are in your heart. You are compassion, love, humility, kindness. You have dealt with all your shit, or at least dealing with most of your shit. It's 5D is where we're all headed. Some are just taking many back roads and getting lost, while others are following the path and is on their way. So, how do we apply to become involved in service with the medbed teams? You don't yet. Not yet. When I get my treatment, will I get all my gifts? Akashic? I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce that word. History and knowledge of past life. If you are ready for it. One thing you must understand about the medbeds is they're not going to take you from 3D to 5D. They're not going to take you from not knowing anything about spirit to full galactic telepathy. They will only level you up to what you are ready for. Okay? Only to what you are ready for. Nothing else. Okay? Nothing else. If you're not ready for your third eye to be open, the medbeds won't open it. If you're not ready for full spiritual communication, then you're not going to have it. You have to do the work. Okay? Is it possible to get rid of your hair on your body except hair on your head, eyelashes, eyebrows? Can one go more than one time to the medbed? Yes, yes, yes. I hear you're a scammer. Prove it. Prove it. Bring the evidence. I got $250 for anyone who can bring me the evidence that proves I am a scammer. If you don't or you can't, then fuck off. Simple. Is your procedure rescheduled by the Alliance military? No, I've already discussed this. I have been asked to do it on my own YouTube channel for myself, which will have nothing to do with the Alliance or the military, which I do believe is a cheap way of saying, oh, it's all up to you. Your choice. I think that's just one of their get out of jail cards. Okay, my sister passed last year and her husband's Parkinson's has really gotten worse. Can we book an appointment for him and bring him in? Not yet, unfortunately. They're not available yet. Now remember, anyone who says they are available, anyone using my photo or my name and has an email and says, oh, they're available. No, they're not. They're bullshitting. Okay? There is no money exchanged. They will be free when they are available, but they're not yet. And when they are available, you're not going to book an appointment through a ridiculous email account. You're going to ring a national phone number and talk to someone on the other end of the line. Anyone who thinks that you can book an appointment for a technology that the military is involved in, which is still kind of classified, by the way, through an email, has got rocks for brains. I'm sorry, but no common sense. I know people are desperate and people are hurting and they're so sick. But what happened to thinking? Okay? It's just, it does my head in how you could book some kind of an appointment through apparently me, who is just a civilian, for the greatest healing technology on the face of this planet. It makes zero sense, and yet people are still falling for it. It just does my head in. Any chance medbeds can make me a natural mosquito repellent? Can you do a video on what the procedure will be at the Redemption Center? Too Many Truth is giving a different scenario and it sounds very complicated. No, it's not complicated. Basically, you've got your currency, you've got your projects in hand. If you want humanitarian funds, then you need to have some kind of folder with a couple of projects or a project. Just a few lines, a few sentences in the folder just to show what your plans are. That's it. And you go in and you sit opposite someone with a laptop or a computer, and while you're saying, oh look, here's my folder, here's my projects, this is what I'm planning on doing, that quantum computer facing you is reading your vibrational frequency, and it's your vibrational frequency that will give you the exchange, particularly on the Zim. So what I've been told is that if you have Zim, then you go to a redemption center, which may be set up in a bank, it may be set up in a military base, it may be set up somewhere else. But if you have Zim, then you need to exchange that at a redemption center, simply because of the amount of money involved and the fact that it is uncirculated or it's not in use or some other technical thing. And then the quantum computer will spit out a number that matches your frequency, and the person on the other side of the computer offers you that. You either say yes or no, and there may or may not be room for negotiation. I don't know. And the exchange is made, and you sign, you walk out happy as Larry or pissed as pie. Simple, really simple. Very shortly after that, usually within 24 hours, most likely within 24 hours, you'll get an email. if you are planning on doing projects, and that will be your alliance member contact. They will be the ones to help you with anything that you need. Okay. So, and then you go from there. All right? Really simple. Remember, don't complicate things that don't need to be complicated. If you're listening to everyone, you're going to be overwhelmed. Okay, you're going to be confused. What do you think? Okay, what do you think? So, really important. Okay. Tell you what, there's some really nice people right now. Okay. Can Medbed teach me another language? Yes. How to know our current vibrational frequencies without the quantum computer. Tips. Feel. Okay? Feel. Alright? Feel it. Get out of the head and feel it. Okay? What if the frequency isn't as high as it could be due to being sick or waiting for RV? No matter whether you're sick or waiting, your heart will never change. The frequency of your heart will never change. And that is what the quantum computer will read, is your heart. Doesn't matter your situation, your heart frequency will not change. So if you're a dickhead, if you're an asshole, you're walking out of there with jack shit, with nothing. Nothing. If you are the sickest person and you're homeless and you're on your deathbed and, you know, death's door and whatever, and you may walk out there with the biggest exchange anyone could ever get. So it's your heart. So all these people that's trolling right now, I'm just smiling because I know they're not going to get nothing. They're assholes. Why would they? Why would the Alliance give assholes all this money? They wouldn't, because then they're just creating a whole nother elite. That's all about greed, ego, and just being nasty. Why would they? They wouldn't. So go ahead and be nasty, because we're the ones that's going to be smiling while you guys are sitting in a corner crying in a pile of piss. Excuse my language, but seriously, get over yourselves. There's been a lot of information regarding breast implant illness. It leaches toxins into your body over time. Of course it does. I considered it at one point but changed my mind afterwards. The breast implant removed. Yeah. Why are there in Russia big tigers and small elephants in the air? Huh? How is that related to medbeds? And I don't even know what you're talking about. Can the medbed give you a French manicure or pedicure? I have scoliosis, lifelong and daily issue and causes and nerve damage, pain and seizures all in my back, hips and short leg. Will it restructure all the scoliosis and increase my height to its natural state? What have I been saying the whole time? Medbeds heal, cure, or dramatically improve everything physical. You do not need to ask about the physical. The answer is always and will always be yes. Yeah, some of the comments on here are so rude. They're just jealous. They've got nothing better to do than troll. They really don't. They're just showing just how immature, consciously immature they are. They really don't have a clue. I kind of feel sorry for them. It's like a child, it's like a 3-year-old that should be in preschool and they're being thrown into a university environment. They don't have a clue. They really don't. Our animals would be sterilized, cats for example, to prevent too much of them reproducing. Yes. Yeah. So I had this discussion with a couple of the Pleiadians. One in particular, which goes by the name of King Plachacha, also known as Archangel Sandalphon. And one of my projects is rescuing and importing horses from Spain, especially bullfighting horses. Horses, as you guys know, that is my passion. That's my only passion. And I don't want, in Spain and Portugal, they like to keep them as stallions. They don't like to geld them as much. And they treat them just as normal horses. They don't treat them as stallions. Here in Australia, we go, oh my God, it's a stallion. It's dangerous. You have to be so careful. Be careful, it's a stallion. In Spain and Portugal, they go, yeah, it's a horse. All good. And I don't want a bunch of stallions. Simply, I've had stallions in the past, no problem. But I'm not particularly fond of having stallions, simply because the legal requirements and all here when you take them out and everything is just ridiculous. It's for safety, but it's because people are so, oh my God, it's a stallion, beware, it's like a demon monster or something. And I said to Archangel Sandalphon, I said, look, I want to geld when they get here. I want to geld them so that we can put them in the same paddock, and you know, we don't have to separate them and all this stuff, and people aren't afraid to work at my horse park because there's a bunch of stallions. And he said, that's fine, but remember, when you remove a part of an animal, the same as human, you are removing a part of themselves that's necessary for a reason. It is part of their identity. And I said, I never thought about it. We think just removing parts of an animal for non-breeding purposes, etc., is just making our life easier, when in fact we're also removing part of their identity. It'd be same as chopping the balls and penis off a man. They identify themselves and their sex with that. It's the same with animals, apparently. They lose part of themselves when they lose those organs. So just be very aware of that. You can keep apparently you can keep the like for a male, you can keep their testicles, but they can make their little swimmers dormant so they don't wake up, kind of thing, if you get my drift. Okay, so do you support Palestine? What the fuck does that have to do with medbeds? Honestly, just ridiculous. Will the medbeds know if we are 3, 4 or 5D, and will they tell us? Yes, 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 and yes. How many medbeds will there be in each country? It depends on the size of the country and the population. Totally depends. Can you shrink and reshape your jawline or head? If there is a reason for it, then yes. Will we need to take care of ourselves through supplements, or will there be no need for that? After the medbed, no need. Take care of yourself now. If you need supplements now, take them. After medbed, if you're taking the supplement, it's going in one end and out the other. It's not doing anything. This session will most likely not be live. I could say a few things to that, but I won't, because YouTube will probably kick me off. So, you're too demanding, weird. Why? Because I don't fit into your normal? Because I expect people to have common sense? Because I expect people to be leveling themselves up? You want the med beds, and yet you want to remain in hate and trolling? No, you're not going to get it. Simple. You do the work, you'll get it. You don't do the work, you don't get it. It's that simple, really. No need to troll me, it's just fact. You cannot experience what you're not the vibration of. You want to be an arsehole? You won't get the med beds. Plain and simple. So keep going. Problem with humanity these days is we have accepted stupidity. We've accepted people just being nasty. Oh, leave them alone, they're okay. Fuck that shit. Hold you accountable. Like, if you don't believe me, get the fuck off my channel. It's that simple. Get lost. Don't come to my boot camp, because I'll give you bloody weird and demanding. You know, get lost. Will the current food and water set us back after the medbed? Look, it's going to take a while for everyone to have replicators for good food. It won't set you back much, because your body won't be full of toxins, so your body will actually be able to handle all the shit. Okay, so, you know, how old are you? How old do you think I am? Can we keep certain piercings in our bodies without them being dissolved by the medbeds? Yes. You guys are really doing the Alliance a favour, you trolls. It's really good. Keep trolling, please. Will we have strength restored to same as before injury, or do we have to re-strengthen our muscles? You will have the same strength, but like everything, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. All right? When bones grow back, it's just painful in the medbed. No, you don't feel anything. You might feel a slight tingling in the medbed, okay? But that's it. You won't feel anything. Please, keep trolling people. I'm enjoying blocking you. Can we change our eye colour? Yes. Again, if you want any changes other than a general healing, then you will, you'll need to have a higher frequency, okay? Will I be able to regain the height I lost from shrinking? Yes. Some of these comments is demonstrating why we have not had the medbeds yet. Really? All right. If you have a tooth implant and a root canal, can the metal be dissolved and the tooth healed? Yes, everybody will get a new set of teeth as part of a general healing. If you don't want a new set of teeth, or you want a particular tooth to remain for whatever reason, like it's gold or something, then you can choose that. How will the emotional well-being of parents of handicapped child when they are healed? Like we have non-verbal, non-mobile, 13-year-old. That's a big change for the adult. She'll be fine. Healing centers. Okay? That's what that's for. God, there's some idiots here. Honestly. Once we've gone through the medbeds, will our vibrations be high enough to meet the galactics? That depends. Are you ready to meet? I mean, mentally ready. Have you done all the work? It's not just about your vibrations. You need to have done the work. You need to be dealing with your traumas, dealing with your insecurities, you know, healing your emotions, all of that. You need that. Okay? It's not just, I have a high frequency, therefore I'm ready. No, you need to be also of higher consciousness. So it takes work. Okay, it takes effort. You're not just going to come out of the medbed and go, oh, there's a galactic, I'm ready now. No, you need to be mentally, consciously, spiritually ready. Okay, no matter how high your frequency is. Yeah, keep blocking these people. They're idiots, really. Do the medbeds take out the poison from the jab? Yes, and will fully restore your body to perfection. Okay? I'm sure you've mentioned this before, but what are the parameters for age regression? So you, again, just like almost ready to meet galactics. So you need to have worked through your shit. You need to be conscious, okay? Not like a bunch of these dickheads, okay? You need to be conscious. You need to be of higher frequency, okay? You need to actually be ready, because it is a huge change. It is a massive change, all right? So if you're 80 and you go back to 30, your friends are going to see you differently. Your family's going to see you differently. Your partner may not love you anymore because you're not the same. Your children may disown you because you're not the same. You know, you need to be ready for age regression. And you can go back 5 years, 10 years. Why you would want to, I don't know. But, you know, it is a massive, massive change. And when you look in the mirror, you're no longer seeing this older man or woman. You're now seeing this young person. Are you ready for that? It is a huge mental challenge, age regression, which is why it is going to be so controlled. And not everybody will get it. Actually, hardly anybody will get it. One, because there's no real need yet, because a general healing, if you're 80, that'll take you back to, you know, really healthy 40-year-old. So there's no real need for age regression at this stage. But if you do want it and you are approved, you need to be prepared. So, you know, it's a huge mental thing. All right. So just be aware that not many people will be approved for age regression. Simply, one, there's no real need, and two, it is such a massive change. And, you know, your family has to be okay with it. It'll probably take 1 or 2 sessions to actually get to age regression. Sessions as in talking to the medbed team. Are you ready? Going to a healing center. Are you ready? Like really, really mentally ready for this change? Is your family on board? You know, how's your social network? Because they're not going to do anything that is going to cause you more drama. Okay, so yeah. Will we be able to access medbeds if we have a humanitarian project that requires healing? I've done nothing but talk about that, so I'm not going to answer it. I've been talking about that for 3 years. Is any foreign currency qualified for redemption and medbed appointments, or only Zim? The medbed appointments for humanitarians are those who receive humanitarian funding, okay, for projects, not just a general exchange, but humanitarian project funding. Zim is the most one that's going to be used. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't matter what currency you have. If you are approved for humanitarian projects, then you get medbeds straight away. Okay. Once you go through age regression, can you reverse it if you're not happy with it? Yeah, you could, but they wouldn't do that straight away. Okay, they wouldn't do it straight away. All right, simply because there's no need. All right, they want you to figure it out, and you probably wouldn't want to reverse it because you would have gone through so much to get there. Okay. God, the amount of trolls is just ridiculous, honestly. You people have got absolute shit for brains. Just fuck off and get a life. Really. Love how you handle the trolls. Sometimes I have to turn off the comments because their attitude gets on my nerves. We know you do all that you do, including put up with the trolls, out of love. I put up with the trolls because I don't want to lose my channel for what I would say to them. And it wouldn't be nice. It's not out of love. It's just out of... I'd rather not go to hell. So yeah. The problem with trolls is they are so scared to be punched in the face, that if they came face to face with me, they would probably run down another street or into a shop, because they know that I would punch them in the face and then kick them in the nuts and then call the police on them and sue them. Yeah. I'd make sure that their little thing could never work again, because I know that they would never get a medbed. So they lose their identity. Karma's a bitch. And I'm looking forward to the day it arrives. Which is why I'm coming back public. So, I'm going to be producing a lot of the karma for these trolls and pricks. Again, excuse my language. Okay, do you have any infos about in France? You said in your video that a woman asked her nearest military camp and she got her appointment. Is that possible in France? Yeah, she did get her appointment and then chickened out, so never turned up. If you want proof of medbeds, you need to understand that medbeds are still technically classified military technology. Anyone who has the proof, like civilians, that proof is taken off them. If they share the proof is removed along with the person who shared it. So if you want proof, which I'm not going to potentially lose my life for, if you want proof, go to your local military base and ask them. Demand it. See how you go. And then come back to me, and then you'll wonder why I don't share proof. Because you'll know for yourself. Alright? You'll know for yourself. Go for it. So, it's all good. Go for it. Will animals have the opportunity to make modifications to the genetics makeup as well that they would like to have changed about themselves? No. An animal doesn't think about what they look like. They will get a general healing. Animals are not as egotistic and as lame as humans who live in our head. Animals live in the moment. So they don't care. They will just have a healing. Let's see. Can a woman after 55 years old have a baby after medbed? Yeah, of course. Remember, once you have a medbed, you're no longer your age. Okay, so you can be 55 years old, but your body is now that of a 25-year-old. So age, the number of years, is no longer relevant. And I mean no longer relevant. Okay, because you can keep on having general healings, which will keep on regenerating your entire body for the next several thousand years. So there is no more age. Okay, literally no more age. All right. Yeah, don't worry about the trolls. I'm working through them. Don't worry about it. How will someone who has been mentally challenged or crippled all their lives be helped with this new life? Well, first of all, healing center to help them get in the best possible mental space. Then medbed to be perfect. And then back to the healing center for whatever other help they need. Would they let me build an animal healing chamber center but hire others to actually work it? How do employees get paid? Yeah, of course. Of course. And that's what the humanitarian funds are for. To pay for staff, to pay for transport, to pay for buildings, to pay for land, to pay for supplies. That's what the humanitarian funds are for. Okay? Is for that. That's why we're waiting for that, because we can't do anything without that. Okay? So, Jesus is king. Oh, for fuck's sake. Get out of here with that shit. You keep going no matter what comes your way. Yeah, well, I'm a sucker for punishment. Could a medbed enable me to swim like a dolphin, meditate like a yogi, and do yoga like I was born doing yoga? No. I highly doubt it. Why would you want to swim like a dolphin? Go in the pool. Teach yourself to swim like a dolphin, if that's what you want. Meditate like a yogi, go practice. Do yoga like you were born doing yoga. What's stopping you from doing that now? Go do it. Yeah. Nothing's stopping you from doing it now. Go do it. Even if you're bedridden, you can do some stuff. Go do it. Can the medbed technology be used to heal the oceans? There's other technology for the oceans and marine life. I believe it's still the medbed technology, it's just set up a different way. Don't talk like that, makes your vibration low, ignore them. Nah, it's time people were held accountable. My vibration's fine. We turn a blind eye to people for so long. You know, they need to be called out on their bullshit. Stuff them. Do the Galactics see people's responses on your social media, taking notes? Yes, they most certainly are. That's what I say. Keep trolling. Please keep trolling, because you're getting yourself crossed off the list of redemption appointments, of medbed appointments, of New Earth. You're getting yourself crossed off, so please keep trolling. We don't want you. So go ahead. Do you think they would try to schedule me and my cat the same day, or does it depend? If not, could I get them to do my cat before me? Only you and the person booking your appointments will know that answer. Can the med beds give you a photographic memory? I'm not sure about that one. I'm actually not sure. But you know, there's memory stuff you can do now to increase your memory and to improve it. Get lost, mosquito. So go practice. How will the med beds affect professional sports? Because if an athlete gets more muscle because of the bed, wouldn't he have an edge over an athlete that did not? There won't be any professional sports. So don't need to worry about that. Professional sports will go bye-bye. Like Biden, bye-bye. Are there technologies as well to clean the atmosphere so we don't have more contaminants and nanoparticles floating and poisoning? I believe they're already cleaning the atmosphere. Can medbeds increase your wisdom? No, you only get wisdom through experience. How can I do a humanitarian project? I've discussed this. Maybe go back and have a listen about 15 minutes ago. You are a wonderful person helping so many people. Well, thank you. 5D people need to love every part of who they are. Love is key. Yeah, they also need the consciousness to go with it. So remember that, okay? 5D is the heart combined with the consciousness, combined with the spiritual aspect, okay? It's not just, I love you, oh, love and light, okay? There's a lot more to 5D. 5D also means you get to go to other planets, other realms, other civilizations to help them, okay? It also means that you become what we call a spirit guide for others that's not as developed, okay? It means, you know, lots and lots and lots of different things. It also means that you can connect to higher dimensional advanced technology through your own consciousness. All right? It's not just love. There's many other factors that's involved in it. But it all starts with love and compassion. Okay. What if we decide we want to do projects late, like after med beds, because I need to be healed? Yeah, that's fine. You can choose to do projects after, but you will need to have ideas now to get the humanitarian funds. Otherwise, if you don't get the humanitarian funds, then you know. Can I purchase a medbed facility? No. You create a medbed facility, but purchase, maybe not until a few years when the medbed facilities are up and running and someone wants to hand it over, maybe. But no, remember, medbeds don't cost anything. They will be given to those who are approved for them, and they won't cost anything. If there's an entity attached to you, will it be gone after the medbed procedure? No, it will be gone before the procedure because you would have done the work to get rid of it. Separating the wheat from the chaff. Yeah, exactly. Do ETs use our beds or something similar? The beds we're getting to the ETs are considered what we would say dinosaur technology. They are extremely old. Extremely old. Okay? They have much, 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 much more advanced technology. Okay? Med beds we're getting, so old, they're archaic. They're like the mummies of Egypt. Okay? Even older. Can I make my husband and child's appointment? My little Q will not want to be there alone. Yeah, of course. There are many Jesus lifelong believers who listen to you as well. Why would you say F off with that shit? It's fair to ask. Yeah, it's fair. Because if you follow Jesus, then you're keeping the Cabal alive, since the Cabal created the Bible, and the Cabal is keeping your minds in a prison, which is keeping humanity down, which is stopping the medbeds and all from being released. The moment you step out of being a follower and step into your own light, that's when things will really start to change. That's when the new earth will actually start coming about. But until you do actually realize that, I'm not saying turn your back on Jesus, I'm saying get off your knees and stop following. Stand beside him. Stop being a slave to the Cabal's mind control program. Get off your knees. Stop praying outside of yourself. Stop praying for something and become it. Stand up for yourself. Stand in your sovereignty. Instead of bending down to someone else's will and following a set of guidelines and rules that the very people we are trying to get rid of are the ones that you're praying to. You're keeping them alive by bending over backwards to fit into their belief system. Why would you want to continue doing that? You're going and sitting in church, while behind church doors and underneath the church itself, child trafficking is happening, torture of children, taking of adrenochrome. Why would you support that? It is just an extension of the satanic cult that we're trying to get rid of. There are no true religions, not one. They've all got rules, they've all got guidelines. Why would you take part of that while saying we need to free ourselves, while keeping yourself in a prison, and you keeping yourself there is keeping the rest of humanity there? Jesus is not satanic. The whole system of following Jesus and the Bible is satanic. Get off your knees and stand beside Jesus. Stop following. Stop taking part in their rituals. Even the red wine represents the drinking of Christ's blood. I mean, hello? If that's not a satanic cult, then I don't know what is. Everything about it, if you actually step outside of your belief and you look at it from a neutral perspective, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You go to church every Sunday to worship someone, from someone standing up there with a robe and a collar on, sprouting all this bullshit, instead of teaching you the one thing, and that's standing in your own sovereignty. You have the power. Stop giving your power away to those that's trying to kill and destroy you. So yes, take the beliefs in Jesus and take the worshipping of Jesus and going to church and the Bible, take it and F off. Because you guys that do this are keeping us as slaves. You're keeping us enslaved to the Cabal. Even when the Cabal disappears and they're no longer here, years and years in the future, we're still going to be mental slaves to them because of your beliefs, because you're not willing to get off your knees and stand up for yourself. Please don't start saying, Jesus this, Allah that. I'm just going to remove you. It's all bullshit. All of it. Get off your knees and stand with them. Okay. Develop your own relationship with God. No need for a book or other being to guide you. You are a child of God, behave like one. You're not even a child of God. You are an essence of God. You're not a child of God. You're an essence of God. Behave like it. Step into it. All religions will be exposed for what they are. Churches need to be burned down because of what's been going on in them. Bibles need to be destroyed. It's all satanic. All of it. Now back to medbeds. Thank you so much for telling me the brave truth. Yeah. I would not be doing my job if I just said, oh yes, Jesus is wonderful. He is. But not in the way you worship him. He even says, I am your brother. You can do what I can do. So what do? We ignore that and go, oh my God, Jesus, I pray to you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Are individuals known as chosen ones vibrating in 5D? There are no chosen ones. That's an ego of the human mind. No such thing as a chosen one. You chose it. Okay? You chose it. Time you, not just you, but everyone stood up and understood that you chose to be here. You chose to take on this mission. You were not chosen for it. You chose it. So take responsibility. Replicators will be installed in all humanitarian projects. So everybody who has a humanitarian project or receives everyone who receives humanitarian funding, I've been told, will receive a food replicator for themselves so they can get used to the technology for when it is installed in their project. Okay? So yeah, in all projects you'll have replicators, all different types. So you'll have replicators for buildings, you'll have replicators for clothes, for food, animal produce, animal foods, cleaning stuff, anything and everything you can think of. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, no more cooking. You can still cook if you want to. You can still grow your vegetables and fruits and all that if you want to. That's not going to stop just because there's a replicator. I absolutely don't get involved in the political circus. So if you're commenting free this country, you're going to be blocked. I'm going to get rid of your ability to comment. Take your politics elsewhere, okay? I don't do that shit. All right, we know it's a movie. We know it's all bullshit. Yeah, people are suffering. We know that. Everyone's suffering. Everyone is under some kind of control. Everyone's at war in one way or another. I got sympathy for every country. I'm not going to support one country over another. Everyone's guilty and everyone's suffering. So you'll have to go to another site to get someone to shout out free, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be me. And read Quran and you'll be aware. Removed. No. Will the managers of our project still use the medbeds before the public? Because the managers will be being hired throughout a longer period of time, they will be going with the public, but they'll take priority over the public unless someone's on their deathbed. Okay. Yeah, the amount of comments here, I know. Okay. I'm just going to answer a couple of more. And then... Oh, there's another one. You're blocked. This is fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. I've blocked about 15 people so far. It's kind of fun. Oh dear. Yeah, exactly. Too many are focused on all the political crap and not focused on manifesting peace and love. It's pathetic. Now, guys, what you need to understand, seriously, is that you want the medbeds. Otherwise, you would not be here on my channel. Yet, you're trolling, and I'm speaking to a few here. You're trolling, which means you're not going to get the medbeds. But yet here you are wanting the medbeds, but you're trolling. Makes no sense. You're wanting to go into the new earth, yet you're focused on the old earth. You're focused on everything that's going on here and all the darkness and all the shit, but saying I'm going to the new earth. Again, doesn't make sense. You're bashing your head against a wall while trying to get through the wall. It's like, it's not going to happen. If you truly want to go to New Earth, you want to have the medbeds, you want to have replicators, you want to have this, you want to have that, you've got to start focusing on that. If your focus is on politics, guess what you're going to experience? The 3D, because that is 3D. If you're focused on the child trafficking and religion, guess what? That's 3D. You're staying here. No matter what you say you want, no matter what you think you want, your focus is going to keep you exactly where you are. You're not going to experience the medbeds. You're not going to experience the 5D New Earth because your mind is here. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you want to experience the 5D New Earth and you want to experience the medbeds and you want the replicators, you want space travel, you want anti-gravitic technology, you want replicators, you want everything, what the fuck are you doing focusing on everything else? Shift your focus completely onto what you want. Go into your heart, get out of this, go into your heart and actually do the damn work. No point screaming people are scamming and things not happening fast enough and all bullshit and I'm suffering and blah blah blah, while saying, oh yes, I'm ready for New Earth. No, you're not. You're not going to get anywhere near it because you're so focused over here. You see? You cannot experience what you are not the vibration of. You cannot experience 5D if you're keeping yourself stuck in 3D. It's that simple. So any of you who is trolling, any of you complaining about truthers, any of you calling people out as scammers, frauds, whatever, while saying they want medbeds, they can't wait for medbeds, you're going to be waiting a bloody long time. Because you are not in the vibration to exist in a reality where the medbeds will be. Because you're over here. Medbeds will be over here. You need to do the work to get from here to there. If you don't, the medbeds will never come for you because you're not in the vibrational alignment for a reality where the medbeds are. Stop focusing on politics. Stop focusing on bitching and complaining about everyone and everything, and start focusing on what you actually do want, and then do the damn work to get there. It's that simple. It really is that simple. If you don't, then you won't experience the medbeds and you'll forever be saying that anyone who talks about them is a bullshit artist. We're not, but the reason you can't see it or feel it is because you're not in the vibration of it. So, what do you want? Really? It's your choice. Yeah, trolls are digging their own grave. People, the haters, are digging their own grave. People not doing research and then calling others out and making accusations against people are digging their own grave. Literally. While complaining, oh, so-and-so, Skye Prince is scamming people. You got proof of that? Or you're just saying that because you're too damn lazy to do any research? Bring the evidence or fuck off. Simple. It's very simple. Yeah, that's right. When I was asked by the Ascended Master what is wrong with humanity, I said nothing. Everyone is acting how they should for their consciousness level. Exactly right. They really are.
All right, no worries. Okay, I love you.
They exactly are.
Bye now.
Are all the medbed buildings going to be the same inside? I mean the interior and exterior decoration. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So in the rooms where the medbeds will be, yes, they'll all be the same. They've got this special stuff that has to go on the walls for frequency or some kind of stuff like that. So the actual medbed room will all be exactly the same. The design, decorations, all that, totally different. Totally different. And it totally depends on the person who's building it, what they like. So what I like, I'm fascinated with castles. So that's what I intend to build, is a castle-like structure. Other people prefer log cabins. I have heard of one, I think it's in the mountains of China, I think. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's in the mountains of China, where it's going to be like in the tops of the jungles, or the jungle, and you're not going to be able to see it until you're literally right there, like 10 meters from it. So yeah, everyone's going to be different. Okay, I know there's one in America, Central America. I don't know where. I've got no idea. I've just been told it's going to be in Central America. That's going to look like a spaceship, a fallen spaceship or crashed spaceship, and it's going to have all these vines hanging off it. But inside is totally like space age and really cool. So everyone's going to be totally different. Here we go. I've had an email from the military requesting my details at the charge of $300. This is obviously a scam. Why would the military send anyone an email? Especially for technology of this magnitude. Yes, it is a scam. There is no, for fuck's sake, there is no money involved in medbeds. No registration fee, no accommodation fee, no transport fee, nothing. When the beds are available, you will ring a national phone number to book your appointment. And then you will talk to someone on the other end of the line to book your appointment. No emails. No emails. And that's not just for you, Anne. That's for everybody. There's no fucking emails. Oh my God. If beautiful humanitarians... Oh, hi, beautiful. Sorry. Is the movie Avatar done from a real existing world? Most likely. What is What's your gut? It's very quiet. NDA or PSYOP? Horrible. Huh? Skye, what's your gut? It's very quiet. NDA or PSYOP? Horrible. Lots of people are under NDAs, which is why there's not much information being shared around at the moment. Because people are being paid and they're under NDAs. So our intel, or the financial intel people, are no longer giving information. They can't, or they'll lose their funds. Okay. Yeah. Will our pets go to 5D with us? Pets are already 5D. No need for them to make the switch. They're already there. Are you still a part of weekly calls discussing the RV? I've never been part of weekly calls discussing the RV. I don't know where you got that from, but I've never been part of any weekly calls. Is Dolores Cannon share good teaching about New Earth, extraterrestrial source, etc.? I've never followed Dolores Cannon, so I can't really comment, but a lot of people resonate with her, so if it resonates with you, then sure. Does King Arthur Pendragon exist? Yeah, but not in the way you think. Will college sports go away? What you must understand with sports in the future is that people will play because they love to play. And college sports will go away because the colleges will be going away. Why? Because they're cabal indoctrination camps. So there won't be any college sports because there won't be any colleges. Anyone who plays a sport will do it because they thoroughly enjoy it and they want to, not because they get paid, not because they get followers, but because they enjoy it. Yes, all countries will have med beds. Actually, I retract that. All countries do have med beds, but they have not been released to the public yet. Age regression for our dogs also possible? It is possible, but I have heard that they won't. Simply because there's no reason. No reason. A general healing will take a 15-year-old dog and put them back to a 3 or 4-year-old. Physically, so there's no reason for age regression. So, you know. Are you going to be operating the medbed centre? No, I actually don't want anything to do with the medbeds. To be honest, no, I'm not going to be in charge of any of the projects except my horse rescue, which I'm hoping to have a healing chamber for that. So for the horse rescue as well as everybody else. But I want nothing to do with the medbed centre or medbeds. I just want to fund them. I just want to fund my projects, and I want to spend my days mucking out stables and playing with the horses. That's all I want to do. So everybody else can do whatever they want to do. So I'll hire people to manage it, but not for a while, because I need to find out who I am again after all this bullshit show. So you're going to come on here saying it's all fake now? Oh yes, you are correct. It is all fake now. I read that as wrong. My apologies. Yeah. Wolverine, very, very quiet, hoping this movie is over soon. Yeah, a lot of his contacts are, a lot of Wolverine's contacts are under NDAs. So, you know, like a lot of other people's contacts. I'm in Sydney, Australia. That's where I am. Any mobile technology for livestock and other larger animals that can't be transported? Yes. Okay, so there will be other technologies for animals that cannot be transported, and animals like elephants and giraffes, and it will use medbed technology, but it's just a different setup, a different thing. So, yes, you can regrow your hair in the medbed. For those of us trying to raise our vibrations that fail at it, will the medbed still work? Also, if so, will it do anything more than healing? Look, everybody can use medbeds, no matter your frequency, but you have to be in the reality of it. So if you're saying it's not real, it's fake, if you're screaming as a troll, if you're accusing people of being criminals without evidence, if you're going and calling people out and just being plain old nasty and a dick, then you're not going to be in the reality when medbeds exist. So if you have an open mind and an open heart, then you're going to be in alignment with the reality where the medbeds are. So you can be healed. But if you're going on like an absolute peckerhead and loser and douchebag, then no, you're not going to be in the reality where medbeds exist. So you will not use them regardless of your frequency. Okay? So if you want to experience medbeds, for most people, a lot of people, stop being a dick. And then you'll be in the reality of them. Otherwise, you're never going to experience them. So you'll have no problem. All right? But if you're one of these channels that call themselves truthers that's going around bashing everyone, you know, and bashing each other and encouraging hate, you're never going to experience it. So, you know, just have to, again, focus on what you want and get in the vibration of it so that you can switch into the reality of what you want. Okay? Oh, there's another troll. It has been stated if you have Zim, you will have an NDA. Other currency you may not. They will ask you when you make your appointment what currency you have. Do not tell them how much. Correct. That's what I've heard as well. I've heard that all the other currencies except Zim will have a set rate, no matter what country you're in, whether you go to an exchange center or a redemption appointment. You'll get the same rate. That's what I've heard. The Zim will be based on your vibrational frequency, which is what the NDA is for. Okay, so if you go in with a pretty low frequency, let's just use 1 to 10. If you go in with a 3, 10 being the highest, 1 being shit, and you go in with a 3, and you've got a box of 100 trillion Zim notes, you might come out with $300,000. If you go in with one $10 billion Zim note, just one, but you're the most beautiful person with the most loving, open heart, you might come out with $200 trillion. I'm just using an example. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many Zim notes you have or what they're worth. Your heart is what's being exchanged. But you need that Zim in order to get into the appointment because it is a financial exchange. Okay, that's why no currency, no RV appointment, because it is a financial exchange. Okay, so that's what the NDA is specifically for, because everybody will have the same exchange for all their other currencies, but for the Zim, no. So that's what that's for. The next summer Olympics in Paris would be cancelled by the RV. I doubt it. I think all this is going to take a while to change, you know, to make the transition. It's not going to be overnight, but it will eventually. So like in 10 years, you know, the world what we're experiencing now will definitely not be the same. Everything, pretty much everything would have changed by 10 years. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. My wife is 3 months pregnant. Will the med beds detect any problem with our baby and heal? Yep, sure will. So it will be a division of humanity, with some going to the new earth and others be left over behind. Are we going to have to deal with them anymore? There's a lot of different ideas about that, about what actually will happen, and I don't think anyone truly knows, because it will be based on the level of consciousness, of the collective consciousness at the time of the whatever's about to happen. Okay, so it might be that the people who are stuck in the 3D world choose to not use the med beds and choose to stay with the sick care system instead. It might be that their vibration is so low that their quantum computer literally says, no, until you raise your frequency and become a better person, you will not have your med bed treatment planned. So go on a 3-month course of spirituality or something, improve yourself, then come back. And the person says, I'm not going to do that, so they don't get medbed treatment. So we just don't know how it's going to go. We have to go day by day. So yeah. I like this one. Will my clothing optional spiritual retreat still be needed after medbeds? Yeah, because clothing optional retreat is not dealing with the physical body, it's dealing with the mind. And we're moving into the mind and out of the body. So, yeah. Can my sister also enter if she lives in Mexico and wants to come here? Can she live the same as everyone else who lives here? She has a passport. I have no idea. That has nothing to, I don't see that that has anything to do with medbeds. That's a immigration thing. Is that your mum knocking on your window behind you? Yeah, probably. I want my city to have a Christmas horse parade in July. All the horses decked out in Christmas decorations, lots of varieties of horses, ponies, miniature pulling carts and kids with them. Not sure what that's got to do with medbeds, but okay. You do realise that Christmas is cabal through and through, right? Like, really. Really. No, the medbeds will not take your spiritual gifts away. They will enhance them. Okay. Can you replicate yourself? Okay. The answer is no. Will we work 4 times per week after medbeds? I heard will be Monday to Thursday. Whoever you heard that from is probably saying what they will want after the medbeds. Or unless you're talking about Nasara Jasara. I have no idea. Work when you want to. Doesn't have to be 4 times a week. It can be 1 hour once a month. We're moving into an age where your work is your passion, and how much you love about it will depend, you know, is what you work with it. So, you know, the cabal uses medbeds, yet their vibrations are low. No, they don't. The cabal has never used medbeds because they sold their soul. They can't. They have the medbeds for their own purposes, like the secret space program and all of that, or they did have until we took it off them. But they've never used the med beds. That's why they need to do the satanic crap with the children to get the adrenochrome, because they can't use the med beds. Okay, they actually can't. The med beds won't work. If you've sold your soul or you're that low vibration, the med bed turns off. It just won't work. That's why they need adrenochrome. All right. All right, I'm going to leave it there because we are just over 2 hours and I only plan to do this for an hour, being a Sunday morning. So, yes, thank you everybody, and especially thank you to the trolls. I have enjoyed your company immensely. So thank you, and everyone have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are. And remember, where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you are focusing on the old shit, you're going to keep on experiencing the old shit. If you're focused on the new stuff, then you'll experience the new. And if you're a troll or you're a hater or you do stories on other people who's just trying to make good in the world and make change and inform people, then you're an ass and you won't experience any of this anyway. So, head off to you. Literally. Keep going, because you're telling the entire universe that you don't want what you claim. So enjoy, and to everybody else, thank you very much, and this world is going to be a beautiful place, so have a wonderful, wonderful time. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.